His Excellency Lieutenant General K.M. Seth, Admiral R.K. Dhovan, Mr. Rajan Arya, Dr. Bandyopadhyay to kindly take their seats on the dais as well. I request everybody to kindly put their mobile phones on silent, please. We are about to start the event. Thank you so much. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Pooja Vijayaraghavan, Professor at Amity Institute of Biotechnology and your Master of Ceremony for today. On behalf of Amity Institute of Defense and Strategic Studies, Amity University, Noida, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to this auspicious book launch event. The book is authored by Lieutenant General Dr. S.K. Gadiok, AVSM retired, and is titled From War to Peace, Ex-Servicemen's Role in Good Governance and Rural Development. Thank you, everybody, to join us. We heartily extend a very, very warm welcome and our immense sense of gratitude to our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, who is present amongst us here today. Once more, a huge round of applause to sir. And we also very warmly welcome His Excellency Lieutenant General K.M. Seth, PVSM, AVSM retired, former Governor of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Tripura. Dr. Atul Chauhanji, Chancellor, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, who would be joining us online. Dr. Asim Chauhanji, Chancellor, Amity University, Haryana, would also be joining online. Professor Balvinder Shukla, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, who would be joining very soon. Admiral Robin Dhawan, PVSM, AVSM, YSM retired chairperson, SAMDUS and former Chief of Naval Staff. Major General Sharad Kapoor, YSM, SM, Director General Resettlement. Mr. Maruf Razak, Consulting Editor, Strategic Affairs, Times Now. Mr. Rajan Arya, Founder, CEO and MD, Pentagon Press. And Lieutenant General Dr. S.K. Gadiok, AVSM, Director, AIDSS and DG, ACDSA. We also welcome all the distinguished gentry, esteemed senior veterans of the armed forces, dignitaries, chancellors, vice chancellors, pro-vice chancellors, HOIs, faculty and student fraternity. And I would also like to welcome all the guests who are here with us today and have given their valuable time to join us and to be a part of this event. We are extremely honored to have you all with us on this propitious day of the book launch ceremony. With much admiration, I would now request and invite Honorable Founder President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan and all the distinguished dignitaries on the dais to kindly step forward for the lighting of the lamp ceremony.
Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonam प्रचोदया
Ladies and gentlemen, we have today, for this book launch, a highly decorated soldier, Major General Sharad Kapoor, YSM SM, Director General Resettlement, who is also our guest of honor for this event today. Major General Sharad Kapoor is an alumnus of the IMA commissioned into 2nd Rajput Kalichindi in June 1986, Commandant 9 Rajput in Manipur, which is a counter-insurgency area and high-altitude area. After that, he commanded a brigade in Kashmir Valley and divisional commandant the division of Jammu, an active international border and counter-infiltration operational area. He is an alumnus of DSSC. The general officer has served extensively in the varied appointments of Indian Army in peace and field areas. He is presently the Director General of Resettlement Directorate, Department of Ex-Servicemen, Welfare Ministry of Defense, and looking after the post of retirement resettlement opportunities for the ex-servicemen of Army, Navy, and the Air Force. A huge round of applause, please. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion with your presence, sir. Thank you so much. We now come to a very important part of this program. It has been the prophetic ideals of our Honorable Founder President, wherein he works relentlessly with unremitting resolve, generating an awareness revolution, being a powerhouse of knowledge and research innovation, connecting young unignited minds striving to create the Amitian intellectual capital with an enviable global benchmarked threshold of excellence. I now request Honorable Founder President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan to kindly release the book, and will also request all the other dignitaries present on the dais to kindly join us in releasing the book. This historic occasion asks for a much louder round of applause, please, once again. Thank you so much. Dr. Maruf Raza is a charismatic global speaker, a commentator on military and security issues, and is currently the consulting editor for strategic affairs of Times TV network, on which he also hosts a show, Latitude, the weekend strategic affairs TV show. His documentaries on Line of Duty and Tales of Valor have won awards. His edited, co-authored works are Confronting Terrorism and Kashmir Untold Story Declassified, and his latest book is on Contested Lands, India, China, and the Boundary Dispute. He was recently honored with a DPhil by Amity University. He's done his schooling from Mayo College and graduated from St. Stephen's College with honors in history in 76-79 batch. He then served the Indian Army, where he took a sabbatical and completed his MA in War Studies from King's College, London, MPhil in International Relations from Cambridge University. He left the Army in 1993 to pursue other career options. With these words, I would now request Dr. Maruf Raza to kindly deliver his opening remarks.
Founder President, Sir, and Chancellor, Dr. Chauhan, Admiral Robin Dhawan, former Chief of Naval Staff, General Gadiok, the eminent author of what I regard as a path-breaking book, and something which, as I was just mentioning to the author and the publisher, needs an immediately wide audience and something that must become a point of reference for people looking to provide opportunities on our ex-servicemen's capabilities and to provide the country the benefit of their expertise. I served for about 14 odd years in the Army. And as I was telling somebody the other day, I've been to a number of places, educational institutions and what have you. And if I was to go through life again, it would be the same way. I have no regrets. I left out of my own choices, and whatever I've done, to a great extent, the fundamentals that were imbibed in me in military training and in my service have worked as a guiding light. So I think for all ex-servicemen, this professional experience of the military is something they can carry with and be of great use to the country. Now, General Gadiok has put together a very important book, From War to Peace, Wisdom, Leadership, Ex-Servicemen's Role in Good Governance and Rural Development. And it has been vividly presented by somebody as articulate and as consistent with his commitment to academic knowledge as General Gadiok. I had the privilege of getting to know him when I was first invited to Staff College Wellington for a lecture. And since then, we've been in touch. He has been engaging with me and has drawn me into the Amity family, to which I attribute a great deal to his insistence that I must become a member and be associated with Amity and all the distinguished work it does. And as I was telling the founder president, that this campus is like a city. One has to really come here more frequently to find one's way. Otherwise, Google Maps tend to take you in circles, sir. Right? While it is not for scholars to talk about peace and war and the spectrum of conflict only, it is certainly an important perspective that somebody like General Gadiok has brought to bear on what the resource the country is sitting on, but I'm sorry to say the country is not using adequately. And that is the resource that ex-military men provide. And I'm not talking only of the generals who sit on the dais here. I am talking of the man in the fields. He provides a certain direction. Some of you might know, Anna Hazare also is an ex-soldier. And therefore, his drive and mission led a lot of people in the corporate to wear caps to say, I'm Anna. Why? Because he provided the value systems that any country needs if it has to go to the next level of development. And it's important that somebody with such a lot of experience, such an illustrious career in various academic institutions of the military, which I dare say match Amity University in size and scale, and are also qualitatively of very high order. But here is a thought, sir. Amity University should pioneer the idea of giving accreditation to military institutions and the scale of experience that military officers bring. Because I once read a book in my study of civil-military relations, and it's written by an Israeli maverick academic, Martin Van Creveld. And he said the training of officers from professionalism to irrelevance. The reason is that they are trained very highly, but suddenly when they step out into Civvy Street, their training is not suitably accredited for the rest of the country to comprehend the normal jargon that HR heads are used to. So therefore, that mix has to be brought. And the military is also, as Charlie Moskos said, it is more than just a job. It is a lifestyle. It's a sense of commitment. And that is what has been brought to bear in this book, that the military resources that exist in the country should be put to good use at every level. From a farmer who could become the lead farmer in his group of little patches of land, to the military man who's heading a construction project. As some of us know, Captain, now better known as Colonel KP Singh of DLF, is also a military man. And look what he has created. He's also created a city. And I was once in conversation with him, and he was telling me that how the fundamentals of leadership that were brought to bear on him in the military has been his guiding force. Look after your staff, look after your team, follow your aim, have an aim plus, and there should always be a list of could do and should do. And you must first tick off all the could do's before you get on to should do. The other point that this book brings out very beautifully is that beyond the battlefield, there is a life. That life has to be understood. I once saw a Hollywood movie and there was a tough-looking ex-soldier and he was trying to tell a bunch of hoods that, listen, I do not want you to mess with this little restaurant I've created. And they said, old man, your values are for the museum. They are not for the museum. The values are there for the country to use. And for no, unfortunately, I'm a student of civil military relations, ladies and gentlemen. My dissertation at King's was about that, and I've written a book on it. And we have to use that resources. What Pakistan did, from the money that it got after the British went away, it created a Fauji Foundation. The Fauji Foundation in Pakistan runs everything. And it's not taxed, it's not audited. So it's an extension of the military's rule in civil life, other than the military per se being everywhere in Pakistan. I always say Pakistan's largest political party is not PPP or Imran Khan's party or whatever else. It is the military. But the military rules not just by sitting in Rawalpindi with their chadi in their hand. They rule by being everywhere where people need them. In electricity boards, in transport companies, in research and welfare organizations. So I'm not saying the Indian military should adopt that part. At no stage am I suggesting that. But I'm saying that here is a resource pool which this book talks about, which we must use. The other aspect is that the soldier has combat frontline experience that must be used because he will not hesitate to take a tough decision to fulfill the mandate of his master. I was once sitting with the late Raksha Mantri, Shri Manohar Parrikar, and he says, why do you people retire so early? I said, our chaps don't want to retire. I said, you guys send them home. I said, they are very happy to be there, but unfortunately, interestingly, ladies and gentlemen, until the 70s, China didn't have a retirement policy for its generals. So if you became a general, you continued to be a general and more generals got added to your flock. But people retire, they have to be used. I said, sir, you could use them. He said, how? I said, the drill ustad in the academy taught me, and general was adjutant in NDA. I was deputy adjutant in IMA. So we spent a lot of time on the parade ground. And the drill ustad said, Saiban, yaad rakhein, josh ke saath hosh bhi hona chahiye. And I told Mr. Parrikar, I said, you know, there is a difference between Josh and Hosh. He said, I know, but what are you trying to say? I said, the young soldier is full of Josh. Put him on the line of control and he is ready to pounce over. And I was once at the Siachen Glacier and the CEO of a Dogra battalion, General Sood's son, Colonel Sood, his chaps were saying, ki saab, mainu order do. मैं जाके ना पाकिस्तानी नो फड़ के लाऊंगा और उसको यहाँ पोर्टर बनाऊंगा मैं सियाचिन. He said, काका अभी लगाम पकड़ के रख. जिस दिन मैं बोलूंगा गो काका, उस दिन कूदना है तेरे को लाइन की उस तरफ. That Josh is there in every Jawan, and he's not looking back to say कि साहब मेरे को बोनस चेक मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा, मैं भी कूद के जा रहा हूँ. That is your job, but होश की कब जरूरत है? That once you retire or come close to your senior age in service, you need a sense of balance. You need a sense of proportion. And that is what I was telling Mr. Parrikar. I said, use them in paramilitary forces, where you are dealing with your own citizens. Karl von Clausewitz had once, the master of warfare and warfare thinking in the West, had said there is a triangle: the state, the soldier, and the citizens. And when the soldier has to fight his own citizens, there is a problem at hand. And therefore, to engage with your citizens, you need hosh. You don't need Josh. And that is something that this book teaches us. Of course, I'm a student of counterinsurgency, so I look at it slightly differently. But this book brings out so many important aspects that can be used by the country, and DG resettlement is here, and I'm sure the good general will do the necessary to provide our military men the necessary skills, more than just a pre-retirement course that is tractor training and tractor driving and maintenance. I remember in my days in the unit, a chap says, "Kahan ja rahe ho?" कि साहब आप उसका नंबर आ गया रिटायरमेंट का 3 महीने में है रह गया तो इसे भेज रहे ट्रैक्टर मेंटेनेंस कोर्स के लिए, because tractor was a very important thing for the Jawan and he needed to understand what to do when he gets hold of a tractor. But now things have changed. We need IT skills. We need people to be able to be more conversant in English than yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir. And finally, and most importantly, this book highlights the role that ex-servicemen could play in not just the rural area, but also I believe that they can play a great role in making India great. Making India great should be the ambition of everybody. And, you know, when I was in Singapore, I asked people, what's the population of Singapore? They said 5 million. I said, oh my God. I said, we have that many retired and serving servicemen. I said, so, and I'll tell you, I said, put them all together in an island and they'll give you another Singapore. But the problem is they're scattered all over. You have to use those resources. You have to build a communication network. And I think this book could be a benchmark. And I would widely recommend, sir, Dr. Chauhan, sir, that this book should go with your autograph to the main ministries of the country to say, here is a document. That is your blueprint. The problem in this country is we are moving in a direction broadly, but there's no blueprint. Like the Kashmir issue, I asked all the Kashmir experts, is there a blueprint? Sir. I said, if there is no blueprint, how are you going to solve the problem? Because you address the problems in Kashmir, you will not have a problem of Kashmir. Your enemy gets engaged in your society because you have fertile minds who have not been suitably occupied. Those fertile minds have to be occupied and being given an opportunity to do so. So keeping to time, sir, I have finished as mandated by you. Thank you very much, and thanks for the honor for me to give the opening remarks. But compliments to you, and I must give compliments to Amity University for having allowed you to do this work while you are still here and nurturing your skills and your talents. You are a national resource, General Sir. You should be used nationally. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Raza, for such an enthralling and illuminating remarks. It was really, really nice to hear from you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause to Dr. Raza. Thank you so much. Lieutenant General Dr. S.K. Gediok, AVSM, retired, is a role model general, an environmentalist, humanitarian, an accomplished transformational leader, captivating speaker, military thinker, and strategist with 40 years of accredited capabilities in the Army. An alumni of NDA, IMA, and Defense Services Staff College, has been an ex-ADC to the President of India, logistic advisor to Botswana Defense Force in Africa, and finally, Commandant Staff College, Wellington. He has published many coffee table books, history of Staff College, magazines, and articles in various journals of different institutions. He's also been involved in strategic policy formulations in his illustrious military career and thereafter. He has been bestowed with many national awards. Let us give a huge round of applause and invite Lieutenant General Dr. S.K. Gediok, AVSM, retired, to please give the author's expression.
A very good morning, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, it is my moral duty to extend a hearty welcome and gratitude to the Honorable Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, Founder President, Amity Education Group. Unfortunately, His Excellency General Seth is not amidst us just now because of his preoccupation commitment. But we also welcome Dr. Atul Chauhanji, Chancellor, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Dr. Asim Chauhanji, Chancellor, Amity University, Haryana, Professor Dr. Balwinder Shukla, the Vice Chancellor here at Amity University, Admiral Robin Dhawan, Chairperson SAMDIS and former Chief of Naval Staff. We also have Major General Sharad Kapoor, YSM SM, the Director General, Resettlement at New Delhi. Is currently holding the appointment, and he is the guest of honor today, ladies and gentlemen, because the book actually specifically pertains to him. So we are very grateful that he is amidst us today. He is sitting on to the left of the Honorable Founder President. For those students who are not able to see him, he is a military man in uniform. A big hand for General Kapoor, please. Right. Thank you. We also have Mr. Maroof Raza, Defense Analyst, Consulting Editor, Strategic Affairs, Times Now. You just heard him. A very mesmerizing speaker, whether you call him TEDx or otherwise. He is a national defense analyst and strategist. We also have Mr. Rajan Arya, who is seated here. He's the founder, CEO, and MD of Managing Director, Pentagon Press, who have produced this book and helped us with its publication. Distinguished Excellencies, esteemed veterans, armed forces, dignitaries, chancellors, vice chancellors are very close, that is eminent Pro-VC's HOI's faculty and student fraternity of Amity University. I take it as a matter of distinctive pride and singular honor today that my book has been launched by the Honorable Founder President of Amity University. With this very fine galaxy of present luminaries, a sanctified divination of the event, which deserves my humble and very generous gratitude. I owe it all to the Honorable Founder President, who has taken so much of a pain and going out of his way to guide me, to make sure that I come out with this publication. And I must make a point here today. We think that we in uniform are men of perfection. But I can say that and confess today that the Honorable Founder President has certainly outpaced, outthought, out-innovated us. A big hand for the Honorable Founder President, please, ladies and gentlemen. I certainly refer to him. I must tell you, whenever I address him as the Titan of edification. I want all students to note the word edification, please. All students to kindly note edification, or what it means. Please note it down. Your Founder President is the Titan of edification. Now, this book today is most affectionately dedicated to my wife, Sonia, that is Sonalika Gadyok. Thank you. Who has stood by me steadfast like a rock. My daughter, Safina, Dr. Safina Gadyok, Bradley Simon Humphreys, my son, Safir and Radhika Gadyok, the bloodline of Gadyoks and Kapoors. Mr. and Mrs. Chand Kapoor are seated here today. We are very fortunate to have them here, who have provided me, ladies and gentlemen, bounteous joy in my life. And they have undoubtedly been an enduring source of inspirational patronage in all these memorable years and moments I have spent in this sublime journey, not only in this army, but also at Amity University, a total of 46 years. Undeniably, my mentor, General Vijay Kapoor, who's seated actually on the dais onto the right of Sonalika and onto the left flank of the Honorable Founder President. I've taken his name, and also Colonel Harjeet Singh. They have been my mentors, my elders, and all the generals and officers of 12 Guards. A big hand for them, ladies and gentlemen. I owe a lot to all these great people in my life. It has not only been their, I should say, charismatic spirit and pushing me through these trials and triumphs in my very finely checkered and honorable career in the Indian Army, but I can gladly address it as an epos non perel. I take this great pleasure in saying this, which you shall see later. It's on the banner. जिसके ऊपर अभी नकाब है. This has defined my crimson path of glory in the Indian Army. I say this with great pride. My book, ladies and gentlemen, From War to Peace, Wisdom and Leadership. It encapsulates the multifaceted aspects which are pertinent to rural landscape and a model Indian village of India, a comparative study and analysis, the provision of urban amenities in rural areas, which was spoken about by late Abul Kalam Saab, your former president of India. I did confide in him, and he told me not to go in. There were two topics which I discussed with him at Rashtrapati Bhavan. I was ADC to the president, so I took advantage of that. And he told me that please do not do your PhD on interlinking of rivers. I wanted to do that because because my father was principal of one of the Sainik schools in Bihar. And I was very fortunate to be there to see that excellent state full of mineral wealth and all the intelligentsia which comes from Bihar. I saw the floods and the famine. I was very touched. And I told the Honorable President that I would like to do my research on interlinking of rivers so that we can obviate, cut out the floods and famine and make sure that we optimize. He said, what next? I said, sir, ex-servicemen, whole lot of them retire and we are not putting them to use. We are wasting out the trained manpower resource pool. Forget about the rehabilitation programs. And he told me, he said, are you a civil engineer? I said, no, sir. You've done engineering? I said, no, sir. He said, I suggest. He said, my heart is also very close to that. I am also writing, and the Pura model, ladies and gentlemen, is Abul Kalam Saab's model. And let me tell you, he is the one who motivated me to do my PhD on socio-economic transformation of villages with the help of ex-servicemen. So a big round of applause for our late Abul Kalam Saab. I must tell you that leveraging and optimizing the trained ex-serviceman resource, which Maruf Raza just spoke about, is absolutely correct. You require this, ladies and gentlemen, for society and nation building. Benchmarking the welfare of veterans in other nations and examination of the progression and growth model of transformation concerning rural areas. I was just discussing with the Honorable Founder President that I had met the Chief of Defense Staff, Anil Chauhan, and I requested the General, he's a 4-star General, the present CDS after late General Bipin Rawat, and I told him that I would like to come and meet you, present my book, and after that, we should designate, after meeting the Raksha Mantri and putting it up to the Honorable Prime Minister of India, who has tremendous visionary powers like your Honorable President, Founder President. And I said, we must designate appointments. I retire tomorrow, whatever, as a general, or admiral, or marshal. And we should say that, all right, Admiral Dhawan, he retires, he goes as Chairman, SAIL, India. We have Air Marshal Mukherjee, he retires, he goes as Chairman, HAL. All appointments should be designated by the Government of India, right down up to a colonel's level. And you see the level of satisfaction. You see the kind of, I should say, in righteousness, you see the kind of proficiency and efficiency. Highly effective organizations. They'll all be galvanized in meeting iconic success. My book covers the relevant parts of pre-partition, feudal zamindari system, the socialist environment. I can tell you that the UNDP, United Nations Development Program, ranked India sometime back, a few months back, as 135th out of 187 nations. And I must also bring to the knowledge of all the children here, all the students, brilliant students of Amity, that the total number of villages on which I did research was 6,38,588 in 612 districts, where I suggested as to how the government should go about nominating military personnel, retired, suitable leadership, and they would accentuate working in symbiotic connect with the Gram Panchayats and make sure all the projects take off and we attain hyper growth trajectory and conform to your Prime Minister's dream of India becoming a developed power in another 100 years. That is another 25 years from now. It goes up to 2047. A big clap for our great country, incredible India. I would also like to tell you that essentially there are certain problems which persist, which I came across while writing this book. And I've highlighted it. That is, there is crippled governance, the lack of quality, rural infrastructure, poor education, literary and skills, inadequate hygiene, sanitation, and very low threshold, that is of industry and production, which is picking up now. You see that the efforts, the transformative ideals of the Prime Minister with his bandwagon, I think is producing miracles. It's causing ripples in the pond everywhere. And India's economy certainly is going up. And as in the words of the founder president, he said India by 2030 will not only be a superpower in as far as knowledge is concerned, but also will be closing on to the first three, that is in the top three, the most powerful economies of the world. There's no doubt about it. It also spoken about widespread poverty and inequality. And I'm very happy to inform the audience here that that is being addressed by the government in all earnestness. Essentially, it all mandates the implementation of very contemporary, significant, prioritized, effective tools of good governance and streamlined procedures by the Director General Resettlement. We have General Kapoor here, and the founder president requested him to attend today so that we could bring it to his kind notice and consideration so that it could be conveyed in perspective to the right authorities as to what is required to be done with timelines, always. Thank you. I must bring to your notice that President Obama of the United States, who was a true leader, a great leader of the United States, he had signed an executive order for employing veterans in the United States government for enhanced proficiency of human resources. And it was designated after your retirement as to what kind of an appointment a military man would get. It is up to him. He would refuse that I am a medical category. I've been wounded in war. Thank you very much, Honorable President. That's all right. Understandable. All those who are fit and in the wellness of things, they accepted this responsibility with great cheer. In the end, I would like to give some suggestions, which I brought out in the last about 80 to 90 pages of Citizens First approach, insights into good governance, which exemplifies the civil-military fusion part, which I feel that India is now getting on to the driving seat. And we are learning somewhat of these lessons from one of our neighbors, that is towards the northeast. It exemplifies the holistic spirit, the essence of long-term strategy and national security, the policy on empowerment and generation of employment, delivery of services in social sector, urban planning, capacity of building a nation, multidimensional communication network, water resources, accentuation on green and white revolution, science and technology. You got Admiral Dhawan here, who's sitting on the dais today, who's an architect and has been steering the blue economy for the country and has been given various projects by the PMO. A big hand for Admiral Dhawan, please. The man who's steering our blue economy for the country. I've also made a mention of social security and national integration issues, especially in as far as the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which happens to be a far bastion in the Indian Ocean region. And last but not the least, I don't know, I think I was very lucky a few days back to have been bestowed with the 9th Gaurav Samman Award, a national award for basically conservation of ecosystems. My heart is very close to environmental effects and dynamics. So I can only recommend to you that what I've written in the book about night hawks, the scavenging should be done in the country at night from 11 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, and the whole country will be clean. And they should be given top honors, all the awards which you can get from the PMO. They should be honored, they should be looked after, and they should have a place in the society. So that cleanliness, which the Prime Minister is chasing for the past couple of years, becomes a reality in the country. Incontrovertibly, I will only say that we are all intensely nurtured in the military training, all of us, in the science and art of war. And to achieve this comprehensive growth with better audit, accountability, monitoring, and enforcement, each Fauji, each military man has got a fire in the belly. He has an iron spike in the heart, and he has a compass in the brain. So, ladies and gentlemen, we as custodians of peace and security are acknowledged by a grateful country, and that is incredible India. I want all the students to know that before I conclude, I always say that my solemn invocation of thanksgiving to the great Lord is very important. Each one of you, after receiving your qualitative education at Amity, must thank the Lord Almighty. And today, I will say that the Lord has illumined the predestined pathways, enabling my chariots of fire through this book to ascend pinnacles of glory by succeeding in the mission of national, rural, socio-economic transformation. And all this fine measure, I wish to convey to the students here today. And please remember, the military insignia, there are wings and there's a dagger. The wings and the dagger. And that is, who dares wins. That means all students who dare, they will win. Are you with me? Yes or no? I'm not happy. Are you with me? Yes or no? All right, not bad. How's the Josh? Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to convey my gratitude to Pentagon Press, Mr. Rajan Arya, his son Shivam Arya. They have been established in 1999 with a mission to spread awareness, defense strategy, promoting ideas of national security. Over the years, their rise has been meteoric. He has published over 1,000 publications, military and otherwise, very qualitative, and he has just presented the Honorable Founder President with a book on G20, which I think the PMO has given him because of his credentials, very impeccable indeed, creating a very reliable platform to bring about the desired equilibrium of global peace and stability and critical inputs for strategic thinkers and think tanks. And I'm sure, Mr. Rajan Arya, after my book is published, your ranking certainly will go up. I'm sorry. I'm saying that as a good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, a hearty clap for him, and I would like to express my abundant gratitude once again to the Honorable Founder President and to all the great leaders on the dais today, my wife and all my friends and colleagues, wishing everyone divine providence and a high threshold of global excellence in education and entrepreneurship. Thank you. Har Maidan Fateh. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant General Gadiok, for providing us such an insightful understanding and also for the fine deliberations of evolving the civil-military fusion matrix for empowered ex-servicemen contributing to rural development programs and for their own rehabilitation processes. Our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, is renowned and most synonymous to patriotism and national security. Besides his undying passion for geostrategic postulations, resonance with defense and international studies, theater commands and spectrum of conflict, multifaceted progression and development, and prognostications of the future contours of strategic alignments, The founder president is a leading luminary in the field of higher education and higher learning, with numerous accomplishments. I feel extremely honored and would most humbly request our Honorable Founder President, Sir, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, to enlighten us with his sterling thoughts and also bless the audience.
My very dear students, never ever I have handpicked the students only this time. I personally rang up your head of the institution, directors, to bring the students after the first period so that you lose only 3 out of the 4 periods. And I am so happy to have you in such a big number, but not from your demeanor, from your face, I see self-motivation. Why I called you, I will tell you. I never spend a single minute in my life. I work 18 hours. I'm very selective. I never spend a single minute which cannot be a crusade, a tsunami, or a revolution. The other today, first time is a book written by our Lieutenant General Gadiop. मैं इनकी तारीफ नहीं करता, बिल्कुल नहीं करता। क्यों नहीं करता? जितनी भी तारीफ करूंगा वो कम है, तो फायदा क्या? Give a big clap to this video. लोग कहते हैं कि इनको आपने बुलाया, ये खुद आए। मैंने कहा 2 मुकदमे करने लेता हूं, ना तो मैंने बुलाया ना खुद आए, तो फिर कहां से आए, कैसे आए? मैंने कहा भगवान ने भेजा। जो आप लोग सामने बैठे हुए हो, एक से एक मेरे स्टालवार्ड्स यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, such distinguished personalities who are greatly busy, occupied have come. This is because of you, my dear student, because they believe that MBT is really going to change the world. This is the slogan of my worthy chancellor, we together will change the world. When I came in 1994, from after 28 years of stay, you must be knowing, from West Germany, in MIT school campus, Noida, sector 44, I was delivering a lecture in front of parents. And I told there something I forgot. One day, Honorable Chairperson Dr. Mita Chauhan ji is telling, ये तो आपने तभी कहा था, अब भी कह रहे हो, तभी भी कहा था। मैंने कहा क्या कहा था? कह लगे मोइना ढर ने वहां एक प्लेकार्ड लगा दिया है, बोर्ड पे लिखा हुआ है, by 2030 will make India a global superpower. मुझे तब भी विश्वास नहीं हुआ कि मैं तो तभी आया था, तो उन्होंने फोटो मंगवाई, उस पर रियली लिखा हुआ है by 2030 will make India a global superpower. And can you students, my faculty members, can you imagine how can I have this dare and courage to say it? Because you are people. The other day, I was counting the figure which you were giving in the previous, that was wrong. I got 7 lakh alumni. 7 lakh alumni. Before I go further, I will request the HOI to stand to whom I spoke. Whose students are here? Please stand up, all HOI, those who are here. Yes. Anupa Prakash. All HOI, those students are here, if they are not busy otherwise. Anupa Prakash bhi thi abhi yahan. Right. So I think we clap for them, that they worked hard. I must tell to my most distinguished personality sitting over here, our Admiral Dhawanji and our Sharath Kapoorji, and also K.K. Kapoorji, Lieutenant K.K. Kapoorji, and not to forget Sonia ji. I tell you, if some husband works very hard, it is only because of wife. Sonia ji, a clap for you. And my Bandopadhyay sitting over here, a great academician. Also, Maruf Raza ji, you spoke very well. You are also my alumnus. I bestowed upon him the honor of honorary doctorate. This is very selective. So he is my alumnus. Rajan Arya, a book has only life, how it is printed, how it is edited, and I compliment you. I think he deserves also a clap. I was so eager to meet our DGR, our Sharath Kapoorji, because since he has joined, I could not, otherwise I was always going to DGR. I think I must have met almost all DGR, so I'm very proud and thankful to Kapoorji that you could spare time to come, because you are the focal point for all this. You were telling me about your programs, and you were telling that we will also do an association with MET. So, Vaidyogi, I'm so glad that he could come on a short notice. General Dhawan, we have heard a lot. What you achieved is something one cannot be described. I see here Admiral and Commodore Ajay Jay Singh sitting. Ajay Jay Singh, just please stand up. Commodore Ajay Jay Singh. Something very special. Hello. When I came in 1994 from West Germany, I was all alone. Not a PN, not a PA, not a sweeper. I was alone. My brother Anand Bhai told there is one Major General K.J. Singh who comes to the Rajput meet or something in our defense, and I want him to meet you. Next day he started with me. First Major General and remained 25 years with me. And he is the son of Major General K.J. Singh. Can you imagine that how the things are made? How the things are made. And his brother, Robin Sareen, also stayed. He was my first Vice Chancellor. Why I'm telling to my all veterans, I don't think anybody in the country or world who has so much love, so much affection, so much respect for defense forces. No one, no one. When I came, people did not know the worth of the veterans. I was the first to understand it. And now I'm having 500 veterans of police and defense. Then Chakravarti, can you stand, sir? Major Chakravarti. He is my head of the admission department. Unbelievably competent. Unbelievably competent. Great. And co-chair? Yeah. He has no competence, no value, but he was head of the Vikrant, I think commandant. He knows only one thing. Only one thing. If I ring at 12 o'clock in the night, कि सवेरे 8 बजे 25 लोगों का delegation आ रहा है, will be done. And only he knows will be done. So this is the Navy. This is the Navy. I'm telling you students why it is a revolutionary day, revolutionary program, because what is written in the book, rural development, the other ministries assisted and headed by MOD and by DGR, I think if we can utilize the capacity, the capability, the vision of our veterans, but nobody has till now given so much importance to it. I have seen each one of my defense officers, these 500 police or so. The other day I was telling Jalgadio, he's a sharp shooter. They didn't know who is at what position. ask, is it NSG or it is SPG or it is in CISF or BSF? I don't know. Sharpshooter. I tell him a thing in 10 minutes done. So that is I call sharpshooter down here. You don't want to be sharpshooter. Now I will tell students why I have handpicked you, because this area for the development of rural areas, as was told by our Honorable former President Abdul Kalam ji, Pura. So I think if we can look for the areas, what is required for nation building. I don't do anything. If somebody will give me of 100 crores or 100 billion or million, I'll say no. If it is not for nation building, I have not a single minute time. And all my dear students, you are so capable. You have such sanskars and values. When I meet your parents, I bow before them. From all over the country you have come here. And why MET is so much respected, liked and loved? Because एक दिन सिल्वा मूर्ति जी was attending the parents. एक पेरेंट बोलता है अब डिग्री देते हो, वो चुप हो गए. कहले कोई बात नहीं. कहले कि डिग्री भी देता हूँ पर वैल्यूज और संस्कार भी देता हूँ. यही चौहान साहब का है. तो you people are distinguished, all sitting over here. You people are distinguished than any other students. Sometimes you feel Harvard, Wharton, Yale, MIT, Princeton are better than you. So I want to give you the confidence that nobody in the world is better than you. Nobody in the world. That is why I wanted to see you, because this is all relevant institutions. And with the students, all my HODs sitting over here, HOIs, I will have separate 5, 6, 7 sessions by video transmission, and I will speak to them because I didn't want to disturb their classes. Because you people will become distinguished personalities. When I hold alumni meet in Canada, New York, UK, France, I'm astonished. I'm surprised what my students achieve. So we would need your contribution also for this mission. This is not less than a mission. I have read most of the part of the book. And I again compliment General Gadiok that he has written such book which is showing the path for the country to become a superpower. You know that what we have achieved today. You know the G20. As General Gadiok rightly told, we have reached to the 5th economic power of the country. Did anybody believe it? Did anybody dream it? No. And he told rightly, soon we'll move to the 3 most economic power of the country. Who will do it? You people will do it. Because of you people have faith. One day in my early years when I came, I told to American big industrialist that I will make India a global superpower. I could see on his face suspicion, शक कर रहे थे, विश्वास नहीं कर रहे थे, तो मैंने कहा आपको दोबारा बुलाऊंगा. One day I called him in this hall. My student was sitting over here. कहते हैं माफ करना मैंने उस दिन आपको पॉजिटिव नहीं दिया. इनको देख के लगता है कि आप इसको करोगे. No, this is different. This is different. Yes, I think it is not clap for me. Clap for this American. He could understand your values. कुछ सोच रहे होंगे तो हम सब तो बड़ी तारीफ कर रहे हैं. मेरा तो CGPA भी सही रहता है. मैं दीवार भी हो गया. वो मेरी अटेंडेंस भी कम हो जाती है. Doesn't matter. As long as you have values and sanskars, you can achieve everything in life. So, Jalgadiyok, I think we will have, I told, other sessions like that. And I want every student, because this is for the nation building. This is for the nation world to show that Indians have the capacity and capability. मैं अपने बारे में कुछ नहीं कहता. एक हिंदुस्तानी था 1967 में वेस्ट जर्मनी गया, एक हिंदुस्तानी, और वहां पे before he came in 94 became the biggest non-German industrialist in Europe. Can you imagine when the unification took place? he became the biggest investor, employing 6,000 Germans who were saluting Europeans to that Indian. Why I'm telling it, have faith. Have faith that nobody is as good as you. कहाँ ऋषि मुनि होते थे? किसको संस्कारों को बताया? किसको वैल्यूज को बताया? आप लोगों ने देखा, आप लोग सीखा है. And by the way, that Indian was your Ashok Chauhan. That Indian was your Ashok Chauhan. Why I'm telling it? I might have not been admitted in MIT, but you are my students, so you have everything ready-made. Now you should dream and tell me what you want. Such great visionary sitting over here. Can you imagine? They will spare time. My Lieutenant KM said, to whom I say, my brother KM Bhai, he had to go to Lieutenant General Dheeraj, who is the area commander, what you say, for the whole Delhi. There was some event there. So he is my chairman of the board of the MVT. And all these defense officers, I tell you, they are doing so exceedingly well. And Alok Bhatnagar, he joined about 3-4 months back. The President of America gave a medal which only was given to 1 or 2 top personalities. वो बोलते हैं मैंने सुना आपके बारे में, I want to join you. उससे करूँगा, क्या काम दोगे, क्या करूँगा, मैंने कहा मुझे नहीं मालूम. तुम आओ 2 दिन घूमो और तुम बताओ तुम क्या करोगे. मैंने इनको क्यों बुलाया? इनको भी इस मिशन में इन्वॉल्व, ही इज अ गो गेटर, इस मिशन में इन्वॉल्व करूँगा. That is why I have brought him on the dais. रंजना तुम खड़ी हुई थी, नहीं खड़ी हो, तुम खड़ी हुई थी जब. Ranjana is since 99 with me. You know, there are people who they don't go. Neither they go leaving me, neither they go up. How is this? How is this? Because, my dear all veterans, God needs us. We are working for the mission of the gods. On my last birthday in October, I made a mission for 25 years. 25 years, 2047, I will celebrate and dance with you. I will celebrate and dance with you. 2047. Some people will be astonished. चौहान साहब की एज आज क्या है, तब क्या होगी? Doesn't matter. God needs me. God needs you. God needs all. So I think my wife कहती है अमिता चौहान जी तुम दिन रात काम करते हो, हेल्थ का ख्याल नहीं रखते, कभी पिक्चर देखने नहीं जाते, तुम्हारी हेल्थ का क्या होगा? मैंने उसकी चिंता है. अब आप सबकी चिंता मुझे है क्योंकि आप एमईटी के उत्थान, डेवलपमेंट और के लिए काम कर रहे हो. So I think this I should tell to every veteran also. You people have so much experience. Try to be also involved in activities of academics, research, development of the nation. You are doing it. So I think today we are here together. Never ever myself and our Chancellor Atul Chauhan ji and Chancellor Aseem Chauhan ji came together in a program. Never. It is the charm of General Gadyok that they both are also speaking. Atul ji was very busy, but he told, no, this is the program of Gadyok. Tab to theek hai, main aata hoon. Aseem ji is overseas. Overseas. So I told, when are you flying? He told, no, at this hour I may be not in the plane, so he'll be speaking. So I think, does it not show the importance of this event? Does it not show the importance of your presence? Does it not show that we are starting a revolutionary mission today? So I think you are part of it. The compliment goes to all of you. And I think people will remember you, people will be proud of you. And sir, once again, all those sitting here, I'm so grateful, I'm so motivated, I'm so inspired. And I think together we'll show to the whole world that India is the best nation in the world. My compliment to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Founder President, sir. The sagacity benefits all, luminaries and Amitians, manifesting your grace, benevolence, and peerless style. Besides, sharing these sterling thoughts with this August gathering and also showering your blessings. Thank you so much, and a huge round of applause once again for our Honorable Founder President, sir. Yes, yes. Honorable Chancellor, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Dr. Atul Chauhan, is a role model, charismatic chancellor who personifies educational growth and virtuously epitomizes traditional Indian value system. Under his stellar and inspirational leadership, the Amity Group of Educational Institutions has seen a phenomenal expansion both in India and abroad, which bears testimony to his vision, a compelling commitment to attain scholaristic excellence with the best global benchmarked institution. It is my honor to request Dr. Atul Chauhan, Honorable Chancellor, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, to kindly address the audience.
Thank you, Dr. Pooja. It is the utmost honor for me to be part of the book launch, From War to Peace, Wisdom and Leadership, on this extremely important topic of the ex-serviceman's role in good governance and rural development. I would like to congratulate the author, Lieutenant General Dr. Gadyok, on this most amazing academic work that you have been able to publish. To everyone who knows General Gadyok, he is a man of great vision, a man who has the most amazing command on the language of English and Hindi. He is a man who is a great passion for the development of our nation. He is a leader who is committed, which is so important in this day and age today, to the environment of our country and the world. And General Gadyok, what we heard today, what difference a guide and mentor can make, that our late President of India, Abdul Kalam ji, put you on this path of committing your research to rural development, which is so important for our country. So once again, General Gadyok, a heartiest congratulations from all of us. And I can see that there are so many senior people sitting here today, and colleagues and friends and family of yours who feel the same passion. Because it is, many people have ideas, but it takes a lot of hard work and effort to put those ideas onto paper for posterity and for people to learn out of it. Today's launch of this book is also extremely special to all of us at Amity, because we see our founder president, Dr. Ashok Chauhan ji, in person, who has come to campus for General Gadyok. And there are two reasons for this. First of all, because we know that Dr. Chauhan has a great brotherly love and respect for our General Gadyok. We have always seen that. But also because, General Gadyok, your book touches on two important topics which are so close to the heart of Dr. Chauhan, whose mission in life has always been nation building, because of which he established the Amity institutions in India and across the world. And rural development, upliftment of our nation is a primary motive of Dr. Chauhan. And secondly, as Dr. Chauhan himself said, the respect he has always had for members of the services is undoubted. And the growth of Amity has always had, right from day one, as was told from General KJ Singh, General Sareen, the growth has been on the shoulders and responsibility of so many members of the armed forces. And at Amity, we are indebted to everyone who has been part of our mission to fulfill this. I was lucky to get an advance copy from General Gadyok of this amazing book. And I will just take 30 seconds to read. I have this habit of underlining a few aspects, General Gadyok, which I found very, very important, especially for the youngsters who are in the audience to listen. About the armed forces, General Gadyok, you say they are the only credible and educated workforces in our villages, characterized by self-motivation, rich experience, discipline, and have a multi-talented persona. Rightly, ex-servicemen are role models of ethical and transformational leadership. I may have been disconnected. I hope I am back online again.
You're online.
You have told us that approximately 60,000 personnel retire every year from the defense forces. Out of that, a large percentage is in the age group of 30 to 35 years. If collectively we can utilize the strength of this huge number to uplift and help our villages grow, our country can be a transformed nation. And also, you say, it will exponentially lift the morale of Indian soldiers and give better self-confidence and pleasure of potential job security. About 80% of ex-servicemen of the rank of JCOs and NCOs post-retirement settle back into their villages. But a study of the Directorate General of Resettlement has revealed that most of them are self-employed in the agricultural sector. But with the values and skills they have ingrained in the forces, if their talent can be utilized in additional aspects, it will be transformational. General Gadyok, as Dr. Maroof Raza said, every person in our nation has to read your book to understand. But you have not only given figures, you have also given amazing suggestions for all of us. You have given the example of the United States, where companies are given a tax credit of $9,600 for every veteran that they employ. And there are so many examples that one can see. All of us who have traveled in the United States, when you are sitting at the airport waiting for boarding the flight, there is an announcement that we salute the veterans who are going on board today, and to show respect to our veterans, we would like them to board the flight first. I think if we all as a nation understand the deep sacrifice that every person of the armed forces makes, the commitment they have to selflessly lay down their lives for their nation, if we can respect this, if we can give every person who retires from the forces a meaningful avenue to uplift this nation, we will become the greatest nation on this planet Earth. And General Gadiok, your book with so much data, so much guidance will go a tremendous way for that. And that is why I can see the great happiness in our founder, Dr. Chauhan, today. With that, General Gadiok, our deepest gratitude to you for the book that you have written. We are extremely happy that Sonia ji is here today on campus, gracing the occasion. We could see the great love and respect with which you have dedicated this book to Sonia ji. We have always seen that Sonia ji is a lady of great wisdom, great elegance, and a great leader in herself. And together you make an amazing team. To General Sharad Kapoor ji, Admiral Dhawan, General Vijay Kapoor ji, Dr. Maruf Raza, our publisher, Mr. Rajan Arya, our greatest gratitude for being here for this occasion. With that, to all our students who are online, take motivation from the great leaders who are sitting in front of you. You know that at Amity, Dr. Chauhan's passion and vision is that you, the youngsters, will transform our nation to be the most powerful nation of this earth. And today's function should give that motivation, further motivation to all of you. Dr. Chauhan, our greatest gratitude to you also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your exceptional and insightful and enriching words with all of us here today. And we are very thankful for your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for our Honorable Chancellor, sir. Thank you so much. We now have an open house. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 minutes for this open house, wherein we would wish you to ask questions, the audience to ask questions on the book. And I would request you to kindly raise your hand and also identify yourself before you ask your question so that we should know who you are and from where you are. And I would request the volunteers to kindly pass the mic to whoever wants to or wishes to ask a question. So we are open for the open house, please. You can come forward and you can identify yourself. Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sir. I'm Dr. Aprajita Pandey, and I believe that we've heard a lot about the book. I have a quick question for General Gadiok. Sir, you talk about the resettlement of ex-soldiers. How and where do you see them most advantageously being placed?
Thank you very much, Dr. Parikh. This particular question, I'll only say that, the ex-soldiers, that is the ex-servicemen, as I mentioned to you, they are a resource that have got to be capitalized. You have something like the intelligence capital, the academic capital, which has been built at Amity University, which you have witnessed all this time. And I'm sure all the Amitians are privy to this aspect, which I've just mentioned. Like that, ladies and gentlemen, I personally feel that there is a certain amount of potential. Well, I really would not call it prodigious potential, but let's call it just about leadership potential, which is there in every military man, Army, Navy, and Air Force. Now, when a person goes on retirement, it is very important to harness this particular potential. He has sterling attributes. Well, I will not say stellar, absolutely, but every military man has got certain strengths. He has certain weaknesses. Let's capitalize on the strengths. The Director General Resettlement, who's here, General Kapoor, I think he will tend to acquiesce with my views today when I say that if the shortlisting is done by the Director General Resettlement and they pick up only those select bandwidths or that spectrum of leadership potential of military men who go to their respective states, and who perform, transform, and reform. Whatever agenda is given to them, with a symbiotic, synergetic connect with the Gram Panchayats. Let me tell you, I have not in my book in any way, ladies and gentlemen, rubbished or ridiculed or said that the Gram Panchayats are not doing their job. I've not done it because I don't believe in it. I've seen it. I was just confiding with the Honorable Founder President when I told him that when I was Commandant Staff College, where Maroof had come and I first welcomed him to the kingdom of heaven. I told him, I said, and so did the Admiral come there to speak to all the mid-level leadership, 500 most brilliant officers of the armed forces. I told them I adopted a village which is called Berhatti village in Tamil Nadu. I selected the Tamil Nadu model because I liked, approved, and I think the Vision 2023 document of Selvi Jayalalitha, who was late Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, I think it was absolutely pragmatic. It went down to the grassroots level. I adopted this village. There were 3 military men there. I gave them the task and I told them that whatever money is required, I will give it to you, but please hold the hand of the Gram Panchayat. And I put in a word to the district collector, Mr. Nair, and I told him, I said, you'll do yeoman service. Whatever money is required, I said, we will have it facilitated. You will not believe, ladies and gentlemen, Berhatti village was declared as the best village in Tamil Nadu. A big hand for that village, for all the people there. And this was primarily those 3 military men did their duty with total resilience, determination, non-corrupt manner, with scrupulous honesty. Not one of them at any point of time came to me and told me that, sir, I'll not be able to perform. They told me, Saab, ab din raat hame bataiye, 24/7 we are willing to do the work. And I gave them very handsome rewards. Please remember in life, any person who works well, he should be incentivized. Any person who performs, he should be given outstanding, remarkable recognition. And he should be told that his contribution is meaningful to society and nation building. Thank you very much.
With your permission, one word for Aparajita. Aparajita, khadi raho. She worked at MIT Institute of Public Policy for 2 years. And one day I came to know that she has resigned. And also the exit interview has taken place. General Gadiok told I would like to take her and had a very detailed interview with her and Dr. Silvamurthy. I did not read any line of their interview. I read the exit interview remarks. I found she is a girl of such values and such scars. She wanted to always in international area, international studies. So I rang her personally. I told her, you joined with General Gadiok. I had not read their remarks, their interview, nothing. But I could see that she has so much sanskars and values. Because in exit interview, you can see the person in totality. Aparajita, we are proud of you. And I think you will prove to be my expectation.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Brigadier Karthik Seshadri. I am serving the nation in the Indian Army. I will not ask a question. I'll just share a few of my thoughts because I feel truly privileged to be a part of this book launch of my esteemed senior, General Gadiok. I have been a beneficiary of his empowering leadership, his infectious passion, and his vision. There are 2 cornerstones of this book, as I can see, ex-servicemen and rural development. A soldier, through his journey in uniform, cultivates and imbibes character, courage, competence, and compassion, which needs to be optimally harnessed and purposefully leveraged for the betterment of this nation and nation building. Mahatma Gandhi said that India resides in the villages. Therefore, manifestation of development in the villages augurs well for the growth of our great nation. So, sir, I wish that your illuminating book will brighten our great nation's future. My only one thought is that when we harness the capabilities of ex-servicemen, everybody comes with a unique skill set. The common underlying theme is discipline and commitment, which is actually the most important to pick up any skill. So there is probably a need to re-attire them in case they have to pick up a specialist job, like you correctly mentioned, steering a company like SAIL or like HAL. So it has to come with a unique skill set which is required other than the leadership that is provided, because today you have to be equally well versed with the work that they are doing. So a little bit of re-attirement, which Skill India is doing in a great manner, and the Department and Directorate of Resettlement, which General Sharad Kapoor is heading. So I wish you all the very best, sir. May your luminary vision bring greater glory to our great nation. Thank you, sir.
We have time for just one more question, please.
Sir. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. I am Devyani Sharma, PhD scholar from AIDSS. Sir, I have a question. I need a view from Admiral Rohit Dhawan, sir. How does a tenure in the army prepares ex-servicemen for their time as responsible citizens who add value to the country?
You see, one of the ironies of life in the military is that you are so busy till the last day that you retire, that I know of so many old-timers that they were clearing files even before they went for their last salute and the farewell lunch or dinner before they drove off. So the military is an organization that completely absorbs you. And they look at everything in terms of for the betterment of the country, and therefore every resource has to be used to its fullest. But unfortunately, a tradition has come to prevail in this country, and I can give you historical anecdotes from the times of Pandit Nehru and Mrs. Gandhi, that it was seen that using the military in public life while they are in uniform or after they retire would be militarizing Indian society, and therefore the idea of a liberal democracy would be threatened by a military presence in public life. I think this was a warped view, because if you look at the champion of democracies, that is the United States, as the Honorable Chancellor just brought out, does exactly the opposite. If there is a soldier's funeral, traffic stops. If soldiers are there, the services are there, in any public gathering, you know, those who have been abroad have sometimes been witness to the fact that you might be dining in a fancy restaurant in your uniform, and when you ask to pay the bill and you are told by the manager that, "I'm sorry, sir, it's been taken care of." That is the respect that we need to give to our people in service or after retirement. So that's the first thing. There was a view, it's anecdotal, but I was told that Mrs. Gandhi sometimes said that I have a Zia on my left and a Zia on my right, and I don't want a Zia in the middle. Implying, therefore, that I don't want a military presence taking over the country's narrative. That is something that has been proved wrong, because if there is one institution in this country that has sworn loyalty to the Constitution and to keep India a democratic country, is the armed forces. Opportunities have come but there has been no sign of military ambition to take over the country, because the business of running the country is the business of leadership elected by the people. Now, briefly, 3 points. I was part of a study group, which when I met Mr. L.K. Advani, when he was Home Minister, I said to him, I said, sir, there is an idea we don't do enough about, and that is all on our border areas. We need to create a sort of frontier administration. This used to happen in the British days. So in the area along the LOC and elsewhere, where an IAS officer who by training is not designed to go to the front lines, avoids going there. So the arm and reach of the government of India doesn't get to the man on the villages in the forward areas. An ex-serviceman can be sent there to assist the civil administration in good governance of those areas, because that's where the terrorists infiltrate from. They get openings if the disgruntled population ki Bharat Sarkar to kuch kar hi nahi rahi hai, tum hi aake inko hata do aur kuch karo hamare. So that is the start of the entry point of proxy war. The second model, which is very important, is to have military men in walks of life where they can provide in village schools the models of leadership, the models of good values, the models of uprightness. Because at the end of the day, you cannot be a great country if you do not have respect for your services. Because if your serviceman, he has a covenant with the state that I shall die and you will look after my kith and kin. If you can't guarantee him that, you can't guarantee the veterans' families, and I'm not talking just living veterans, I'm talking about those who died and their wives are running around for petrol pumps and other licenses, then your state has failed them. So the long and short of it is, you have to use them in every level of your society. There is a talent pool. There is a talent pool that can be of leadership, of honesty, of integrity. You know, in Britain, they had a culture that after they retired from, I met an officer who was once an engineer's officer, and he retired and he went and became a sergeant major in another setup. So you can absorb them all over again. You can absorb them in your paramilitary forces. You can absorb them in undertakings of Government of India which are not working effectively. Use them to the fullest, and the country cannot regret it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Raza, for your thoughts. May I now request Admiral Robin Dhawan for his kind words, please, and his thoughts.
Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, the founder, president, General Gadiok, General Kapoor, Major General Sharad Kapoor, Dr. Maroof Raza, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a distinct privilege for me to be present here, and also a privilege to be asked to say a few words on this occasion. At the very outset, I'd like to congratulate General Gadiok for bringing out this outstanding book, which is so relevant in these times. While I'll not dwell too much on the details of the book, which you've already heard, the basic essence is that this brings together the relationship of the person in uniform with the villages, or the link between the person in uniform with the soil. As you're aware, every person in uniform, sailor, soldier, airman, serves the nation with honor and pride, and thereafter gets back to the villages to be there. And what is the quality that these people have, whether it's men or women in uniform, which makes them absolutely the leaders of the future and new India, as our Honorable Prime Minister has always said? I would like to say that what they have is, I would like to summarize in the C4I of leadership. C4I: commitment, compassion, courage, credibility, and integrity. Commitment for their job, their profession, their country is foremost in their mind always and every time. And it's no ordinary commitment, because they have worn the uniform to make the supreme sacrifice for the country. And this is the commitment which they will continue when they go back and retire and are ex-servicemen, to actually work for the people and be leaders in their villages and leaders in society. Compassion. Compassion towards the men and women they lead. Compassion towards the men and women they work with. Because it is very important to understand the strengths and weaknesses and then work together as a team. This is what every ex-serviceman and a soldier, sailor, and airman does in service, and will be able to give to the society, to work as a team for the upliftment of the villages, or the ideal village, or Adarsh Gaon, as General Gadiok has brought out in his book. Courage, we don't just mean the physical courage. It is the moral courage, the courage of conviction. The courage of conviction to understand right from wrong, and then follow the right path, however difficult it may be. And that is the courage of conviction which is required by the ex-servicemen when they're settling down in the villages to do the right thing for the society. Credibility is a quality which precedes every soldier, sailor, and airman, as well as an ex-serviceman, because this credibility has been built over the years in service as they have served their nation with pride and honor. And finally, encompassing all the 4 C's is the I, which is I for integrity, which only an ex-serviceman knows, and a person in uniform knows that his or her integrity has to be beyond doubt always and every time. So I think this is an ideal situation where this person who has retired from the armed forces is now available to the nation, and he or she needs to be employed so that they can be leaders in their respective areas, in their villages, in their towns, and then fulfill the dream of a new India as has been outlined by our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. Congratulations to General Gadiok once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts with all of us. It is now my honor once again to introduce our Honorable Chancellor, Amity University, Haryana, Dr. Aseem Chauhan.
My dear students, I'm so grateful that you are so patiently hearing. I would like to send each one of you a special book with my personal remark. If you can kindly give your name, subject, institution through your HOI to Admiral Kochhar, you will get a book with my personal remarks for each one of you. Secondly, you will get a special coupon to go for lunch or dinner in a batch whenever you like. These are small gesture from me. But you know, I want to keep my students' name, those who are notable students, those who really want something more than degree. As you know, I told about Aparajita. For about 500-600 faculty member researchers, I know personally about them. So I now stepping down to the student level. So the notable students. So if you feel anybody to meet me, tell to Kochhar. I will be sending you also to my campuses, those who are to Singapore, New York, Dubai, Mauritius, because you people are my asset. So one coupon you can get from your HOI, go together for lunch and dinner and discuss on it. and one special book, you will keep it a treasure for a whole life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Founder, sir. Dr. Asim Chauhan, our Honorable Chancellor, Amity University, Haryana, is a trustee of the non-for-profit Amity Education Group, which includes world-class universities, top-ranked institutions, and international campuses across the world with more than 1,75,000 students. Dr. Asim Chauhan has been awarded with several prestigious national and international organizations for his significant contribution to global education, entrepreneurship, and nation-building initiatives. He has contributed to various national executive committees, which involve private sector leaders in policy.
Dr. Pooja, thank you so much. There is no need for introduction. I am, part of the committee, and for paucity of time, I will just share a few remarks. Dr. Pooja, thank you so much. At the outset, I must congratulate an incredible leader, a great visionary, our own Lieutenant General Gadiok, for the publishing of this incredibly important book, From War to Peace, Wisdom and Leadership, Ex-Servicemen Contribution to Good Governance and Rural Development. General Gadiok, every word in the title of your book carries immense weight and importance. It is a book which has to be read by everyone in the country who is interested in the development of the nation. And the charisma, the persona of General Gadiok is seen in the galaxy of people that are present in the hall today and online. General Gadiok, you have an infectious enthusiasm for the development of our nation. The fact that our founder president, Dr. Ashok Chauhanji, as we all heard, has personally spent so much time curating this event, speaking to every HOI, deciding which student should be in the hall. Can anyone imagine that a founder president of such a large group would go into such detail of a program to make sure that it is highly outcome-oriented and success-oriented? It is because of the love and affection that our founder president, Ashok Chauhanji, has for General Gadiok, and also his deep commitment to the armed forces and the people of the armed forces. It is not only what we have heard today, that the story of Amity is inextricably linked to the armed forces in many ways. It has been mentioned that so many of our senior people from day one have been ex-Army, ex-Air Force, ex-Navy, but the many other initiatives that our founder president has taken, for example, the Amity Indian Military College, which we have now in 2 locations in the country, preparing young students for NDA, SSB training, military training camps. That the fact that every one of our students is given the opportunity to be in a military training camp at our campuses in Manesar, in Jaipur, where in 1 week they are given a taste of what it is like to be part of the armed forces. One cannot imagine it. The fact that there is this Institute for Defense and Strategic Studies, which is doing wonders in the country to think about how private universities can contribute to national thinking. And this program in defense technology, which our founder president has recently launched to collaborate with the DRDO and AICTE and other organizations to provide the best PhD and MTech programs in defense technology. It is really the commitment of our founder president in a very holistic manner, recognizing the deep talent and the importance of the armed forces for every civilian and every part of nation building. So at the outset, Dr. Ashok Chauhanji, our founder president, we are grateful to you for having given every Amity the opportunity to think so deeply on this topic that our General Gadiok today is talking about and has launched the book about. Lieutenant General Sharad Kapoor is here. The Director General of Resettlement has such an important role, and we at Amity have benefited so many times from the training and from the guidance provided to many, many people that we have taken in from the DG of Resettlement, which is part of the Department of Ex-Servicemen Welfare, Ministry of Defense. General Sharad Kapoor, your role is so important, and we will spend more time with you to understand how we can also join hands with you in this very important mission. General Vijay Kapoorji is there. He's been a mentor to our General Gadiok, so we salute you. Admiral Robin Dhawan is an iconic figure in India. Admiral Dhawan, we are grateful to you for sharing C4I. I have noted every word of it. We will begin teaching this, but your C4I formula is unbeatable. Anyone who follows this has to be successful and will achieve great things in life. Our dear friend, Dr. Maruf Raza. Recently, I got to walk along with Dr. Raza during the convocation in which we were honored to present the DPhil honoris causa to Dr. Raza. We have seen him on the television so many times, expounding with great passion key elements of the strategy of the defense forces and in words and language that even the layman can understand. He is highly educated. He publishes prolifically. Dr. Raza, we are grateful for you for your contribution in bridging between civilians and the armed forces, the understanding of what happens and the importance of the strategy. So, Dr. Raza, grateful to you for your presence here today. Throughout the audience, the galaxy of people present, I cannot mention everyone, but our friends from Pentagon Press, Rajan Arya and his son Shubham Arya, I must say your wisdom and your ability to attract General Gadiok to write this book, it is something extraordinary that you have been able to identify the gem in the wisdom of General Gadiok, that this book has come to life. I would like to meet you also to congratulate you in person, and this book is going to be a great success for you at Pentagon Press. I am absolutely sure of it. Dr. Shukla is there, Professor Bandyopadhyay, Dr. Selva Murthy, who is online, although he's traveling to the US today, is present. Sonalika Gadiokji, the Honorable Madam Wife of General Gadiok. I will just say that recently I was at the wedding function of dear Safir and Radhika. And on that particular day, there was tremendous rain. And driving to the wedding, I was concerned that with all this rain, how will it happen? How will this wedding function take place? But it was the leadership and the resolve of General Gadiok and Madam Sonalika Gadiok that when we arrived, everything was perfectly organized, all smiling faces. No one could ever have known that there was an issue because of the rain. So, Sonalika ji, we recognize your leadership and your support to our General Gadiok. You allow him to work day and night for the national mission and the Amity mission, and we are grateful to you, as well as to the family of Safina, who that day had a great role to play, as well as our dear Safir and our newly added family member, Radhika. This book, General Gadiok, and I will just wrap up soon, From War to Peace, Wisdom and Leadership, the contribution of ex-servicemen to good governance and rural development, there can be no more important topic in the country today. Because if India wants to achieve its full potential in every respect, if we want to talk about sustainability, if we want to talk about economic growth, if we do not worry about how our rural areas of the country will develop, then we will be in a big problem with mass migration to urban areas. And that, as we know, is non-sustainable for a country like India. So how can we harness the unlimited potential of our ex-servicemen to be part of governance and leadership? It is something which is so deep to the core of our national strategy. I think we should take this to every corner of the government and NGOs who are looking at this area. It is something which cannot be overstated. And the importance of the armed forces generally to the Amity group, we have seen everyone in the auditorium here today, but I just want to mention that even online, we have Lieutenant General V.K. Sharma, who is the Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Madhya Pradesh. He has been listening from the first minute of the program. We have General Bal, who is the Senior Most Director of Amity University, Haryana. Major General Rajinder Kumar, Director of Law of Gwalior. We have Brigadier Umesh Chopra, Head of Institution in Lucknow. Brigadier Rathore, he is OSD at Jaipur. We have OSD of mine, Commodore Atul Kumar. We have Head of HR of mine, Colonel Sharma. Just a glimpse of the many, many more people listening online from all over the country who are part of the armed forces. With these few words, General Gadiok, we feel incredibly proud of you. Much has been said, I will not repeat it, but in what you are doing, you are helping fulfill the great vision of our unique founder president, Dr. Ashok Chauhan ji, that together the nation will only develop if we are able to harness the potential of the incredible people of the armed forces, and with the integrity, with the loyalty, with the discipline, with the management abilities, they are able to achieve everything. And we look forward to the journey together to implement the blueprint, General Gadiok, that you have laid out for all of us. Thank you so much to everyone in the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, very nice. You spoke from overseas. Please tell to your Vice Chancellor at Bombay that I'll be coming to attend the convocation, because I don't know where, maybe you are going to Bombay now, but you tell
Yes.
Honorable President and Chairperson will be coming. My
Well,
I heard Asim telling my love and affection for Defence Forces. To all my veterans, what I say, I should also prove it. 3 of my daughter-in-laws are from defence veterans. And I don't see the status. Jashri from Air Commodore, Mehtab from, Jashri from, I'll tell you, this
Squadron leader, yes.
Squadron leader, Mehtab from Brigadier, Air Commodore, and Ridhima, which you married 4 weeks back, 6 years back, from the retired Brigadier. So from these brilliant boys, the offers were coming from all over the world. Billionaire, millionaire, industrialist. So I want persons with the sanskars of defense veterans. Can you? Air Commodore, Squadron leader, and also Brigadier Mandar, the latest who married at December. Can you imagine my deep rooted? If you bring daughter-in-law from a specific family, it tells you who am I. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honorable Chancellor, sir, for your thoughtful words. I would now request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Professor Dr. Balwinder Shukla, who is an outstanding administrator, a brilliant academician, and a vivid researcher with leadership skills and far-sighted vision, for her kind words, please.
Honorable Founder President, sir, Honorable Chancellor Dr. Atul Chauhan, Honorable Chancellor Dr. Asim Chauhan, our Honorable guest Dr. Maroof Rajaji, Lieutenant Admiral R.K. Dhawanji, Major General Sharad Kapoorji, and Lieutenant General V.K. Kapoorji, our special person today, Lieutenant General S.K. Gadiokji, and all the distinguished guests in the audience, and very dear students and faculty colleagues. At the outset, I wish to congratulate Lieutenant General S.K. Gadiokji on the writing and publishing of the book From War to Peace, Wisdom and Leadership, Ex-Servicemen's Role in Good Governance and Rural Development. It is truly a commendable feat, and so becoming the professional literary acumen of General Gadiok, it won't be more befitting to the vast and rich experience that General Gadiok has that a book of so relevant will have the chance to benefit the generations to follow and refer. It is really a rare event where our Honorable Founder President and our both the chancellors are part of the event. Is truly very, very important that we could see the 3 of them with us. Very thankful to our chancellors and Honorable Founder President. This book will be rekindle the spirit of the ex-serviceman and channelize their sincere efforts toward the good governance and the rural development. As per the vision of our Honorable Founder President and his commitment to the armed forces. The large number of defense personnel have been part of the Amity since inception of higher education, even the school education. I remember very fondly our Lieutenant General Arsene, the first Director General of Business School, and Major General KJ Singh Ji, the first person who joined Honorable Founder President and worked shoulder to shoulder to bring the business school and then later on the Amity University of Uttar Pradesh. Even today we remember him, the way he has really built this university, because I very closely worked with our late Major General KJ Singh, who was my immediate boss. And we could see that so many these ex-servicemen working with Amity, and that what Amity education group is there, huge contribution with them, and we as a academician have learned a lot from the ex-servicemen, and we can never forget what all they have contributed to this great institution. Honorable Founder President always had a vision that how, that with education and research, we also do the nation building, and especially the rural India. When our late Honorable President, Dr. APJ Kalam, started the Pura project, Amity was a part of it, where the number of villages were adopted and providing the urban amenities at the rural area. Number of other initiatives at the education level which we have taken, whether it's the human values and community outreach, whether the legal aid clinics, whether the community service activities, or whether the engagement with the Gram Pradhans, or conducting the public health and hygiene workshops for the rural India, or whether conducting a workshop for the nutrition and health skill development for the youth, as well as for the women, for the creating the livelihood opportunities for them. Honorable Founder President and our Honorable Chairperson, Madam Dr. Amita Chauhan ji, has created a unique institution for the underprivileged children, Amitasha and Atulasha, to provide the education to the underprivileged children so that they can have a great life. Our students, to create that the nation patriotism among the students, the military training camps are the integral part of, it's rather the compulsory for all the PG students and 1 credit course for the undergraduates. We are extremely thankful to all the distinguished guests on the dais, especially the Major General Kapoor from the Director General of DGR. For last several years, we have been conducting a lot of training program for the DGR. And also, I'm very thankful to Admiral R.K. Dhawanji, and I'm thankful to Lieutenant General V.K. Kapoor ji and Dr. Maruf Raja ji, as Honorable Founder President. You are the alumni. Our students are really, and all my colleagues are really highly impressed with what you have done for the nation by building that awareness for the communities, for the society, that what for the various forces do for the protecting the borders as well as serving the nations. And that motivates, inspires to the youth to serve the nation, joining the forces. And that's where the Honorable Founder President has created the various institutions focusing on the defense services or defense technologies, or creating the future defense leaders from the Amity University. Once again, I would like to congratulate Gadyok ji, and I would like to thank Sonia ji for your presence, because you are truly the inspiration and motivation to Gadyok ji, and big support. Whatever he has done, without your support, I don't think he would have done. So once again, many congratulations to the Gadyok ji, and thanks to all the dignitaries. My very special thanks to Honorable Founder President for his vision to build the forces, and by conducting the training program and creating the awareness among the youth, the nation, contributing to the nation and building the nation is the prime motive for each citizen of this nation. Thank you so very much.
Great, Dr. Kla. I have just now got hold of Lieutenant General K.M. Seth, who was the governor of Tripura, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. And I tell him, my guru, my boss, and he is the head of the education board of Amity University. He is with his son for an important meeting, the Lieutenant General Dheeraj, who is the commandant for the whole Delhi. Before that, he was the head of the Corps 21 Strike Corps in Bhopal. And at the same chair, his father, Lieutenant K.M. Seth, sat at Strike Corps 21 in Bhopal. K.M. Seth, K.M. Bhai, just 2 words for blessing my students and thanks to the veterans.
Thank you, Founder President Dr. Ashok Chauhan. There is no words to thank him for his generosity. But this occasion I will devote to saying that Lieutenant General Gadiok has written a book which I am very sure the war and peace and the role of a soldier while developing the socio-economic and rural economy and agriculture is predominant. I can say so because we have our ex-servicemen spread in almost all villages of India, but we have never utilized their resources. This book throws light over what this leadership, which is readily available to the country, can deliver if harnessed and used properly. To that effect, General Gadiok has done a great service to the nation by writing this contemporary book, which is very timely to shape the new India which is emerging at a very fast pace. My compliments and congratulations to General Gadiok, and particularly also to the founder president who encouraged him from day one to take on this book, and today it has taken a shape, and I am very happy that it is being released by his good hands. God be with General Gadiok, and I wish him the very best in life and in future. Jai Hind.
Okay, bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Hall is jam full. My all students have come, and I will have a transmitting seminar again. I will call you. I am missing you very much. Tell to Dheeraj my blessings and Meena my regards. Thank you, K.M. Bhai. Thank you.
Thank you so much. His Excellency Lieutenant General K.M. Seth, PVSM, AVSM retired. He's the former governor of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Tripura, and also extremely grateful to Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam for her valuable words. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a very important part, one more very important part rather, of this beautiful occasion, which is the banner presentation. This banner would be presented by our most honorable Founder President, Sir, to the Distinguished Officer of the Indian Army, Lieutenant General Dr. S.K. Gadiok. This banner has been beautifully crafted and words specially chosen to convey the sentiments and appreciation for his illustrious career. He is, as we all know, a progressive academician and a thoroughbred ethical leader, motivator, and mentor. His legacy in establishing the Amity Institute of Defense and Strategic Studies and Amity Center for Defense and Strategic Analysis is worthy of recognition. The banner proudly symbolizes the character of the general, his professional acumen and essence of his dynamic tenures in various formations and institutions of the Indian Army, and finally the physical culmination at Amity. Lieutenant General Gadiok will continue to serve with honor in the highest traditions of the ethos of Amity University as he firmly endorses the sanctified credo of duty, honor, and country. May I request the banner to be please brought to the front, please, and I would request most humbly our Honorable Founder President, Sir, and Lieutenant General Gadiok to kindly step forward.
My dear students, you have seen it. If you want to do something in life, then find a way. I caught hold of Asim Chauhanji overseas. I caught hold, requested KM Bhai. He was with Lieutenant Dheeraj for a very important meeting or event. I caught him. So anything you want in life, find a way. Can you do? Anybody else will think? Okay, भाई को मोबाइल पे लिया, इस पे लिया, तरीके निकल आते हैं. Only चाहत होनी चाहिए. To give this message. Thank you very much.
I would also request everybody to kindly stand for this momentous occasion, please. Thank you so much. Also in the first floor, I would request all the students to kindly stand. Yes, kindly settle down, please. Thank you so much and congratulations to Lieutenant General Gadiok. I would now request all the students to kindly settle down. We are at the end of the ceremony. All the students are kindly requested to settle down, please, on the first floor. I would now request Colonel Dr. Rajan Bakshi to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Pooja Raghavan. I would like to express my sincere appreciation, and I am really gratified for this chance to deliver the vote of thanks to such an honorable audience. I, on behalf of Lieutenant General Gadiok's team members and all the organizers, would like to pass my warm thanks to all the esteemed audience for their significant presence in this book launch event. I would especially like to thank Honorable Founder President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan for his invigorating presence and encouraging words, and Chancellors Dr. Atul Chauhan and Dr. Asim Chauhan for their vital participation. I would also like to thank His Excellency Lieutenant General K.M. Seth and Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla for gracing this event with their presence. We are also thankful to Admiral Robin Dhawan and Major General Sharad Kapoor, Director General Resettlement, for their presence. Our special thanks to Dr. Maruf Raza, who shares unique association with Defense and Strategic Studies at MIT University. It is my great honor and pleasure to thank Lieutenant General Gadiok for his commendable literary work and discussion through his deep and intellectual way of imparting knowledge, which has added glory to this event. I'm sure this precious knowledge that has been imparted to us today will definitely help us in our future literary endeavor. My special thanks also extend to the publisher, Mr. Rajan Arya, founder and CEO, Pentagon Press, and Mr. Shiva Arya, who have given the distinct touch of fineness befitting the author. I would also like to convey my profound gratitude to Team Amity, participants, and volunteers who have made this event even more graceful and glorified. Such a big event would not have been possible without their keen effort. They really put their zeal and zest to make this event such a grand success. May I request for a big round of applause for all of them. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel Bakshi.
Pooja is a great MC, but also a great scientist, one of the most brilliant researcher. If you see him, you will think that she's a MC, but she is absolutely brilliant researcher and scientist. Pooja.
Well done, Pooja.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Founder Sir, for your kind words. And we come to the end of this momentous ceremony, and thank you so much for joining us, all of you. We would request all our esteemed guests to